books. Can't escape from the team called the morning steam. It's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, and a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam show for a Wednesday, February 19th. Get ready for our sports betting day here. We've got NBA basketball to add to our menu, our barren menu here this week, but we're all about it tonight. Hosting the Hornets. We're back at it. Yeah, there's some big college basketball, Champions League too, and a little bit of news that'll start us off here regarding today's college basketball schedule. But first, looking forward to the Lakers' return to action tonight. Look, we think of it as the All-Star break as a midway point of the season. There's only about 30 games left in the season right now, so we'll see what happens here over the final stretch with those new look Lakers. Apparently, Luka's going to have a minutes restriction until he feels better with that calf injury. 24 to 25 minutes a night, maybe. Is what they've said. So you do have to consider that when considering all those props and Luka doubles and all that. So we'll see, though. We're looking forward here tonight. There certainly was a story that came out about Mavericks refusing to offer Luka a $345 million contract because of his weight and health problems and lack of effort on defense. And that may have been the tipping point to what led to our current situation. But we'll see now whether he can get in shape with the most in shape man, in the world, it seems like, with LeBron. But get ready for basketball tonight, Nuke, and all the NBA. We missed you a little bit here. Coming off of several days of just our college basketball and our awesome hockey. Can't wait for tomorrow night. Also, let me say hello to the folks in the chat. Thank you for coming along, getting ready for the day today. I want to mention that news. First off here, let me say hello to some folks. Thomas here, ready to go. He's first here today. Joe W., good morning, Blue. La-do-dee-da-do-die. Nuke is there. Just 51 games. Good card. Tonight we'll preview, I think, 10, 11, 12 games, it seems like, here. So, Bobby Mack there, thank you for joining us last night. Robert, over on Kick, we're doing something special. We're not spilling the beans necessarily, but I want you to join me here. It's kind of spontaneous announcement too. Don't know how long we're going to be over there on Kick, but we're going to be there until doesn't feel like we want to be there anymore. So check us out over on Kick. We were there last night for some. Thought we'd have better games. Didn't turn out to be that great. So join us over there. Set your notifications if you can, but just look for maybe mostly in the middle of the week. the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I think is kind of the nights we're looking to head over there on Kick. It's a real unique experience. If you like, I think some folks in the chat can attest to what we're doing over there. It's part sports book, it's part companion coverage. It's something like maybe you've never seen before. So make sure you check us out over on Kick before it's too late. I don't want to jinx us. Razor'd be mad by now if he heard me this morning. Also, we have up here on the channel First Strike. We'll have First Strike tonight. The guys will get together for their preview, but we did have VB last night for VB MMA picks previewing UFC Seattle this week with Cejudo versus Song at the Climate Pledge Arena on Saturday night as the UFC returns to Seattle, to the Emerald City, and we had our preview with VB, and we were joined by the Prime Minister of Narrative Nation, George Gennaro, as we went down to other fights and the main event. I thought the preview was pretty good, even though, we were coming with George from 3 points across the world. Basically, you have VB in Europe, you've got me in Las Vegas, and you've got George Gennaro in Hong Kong. And somehow we were able to pull it off, even though we lost contact with George a couple of times. We were able to get the show off last night. So check it out. If you want to see three guys on a talk show, if you would have told me in circa 2000, Ramon, you will do a sports betting show from Las Vegas, hosting your guests from Europe and Hong Kong, I'd have told you I was rich. Now it's just an everyday occurrence over here on the Sports Money Network and all of our streams. It's just amazing. Also, so check out the guys with First Strike tonight. They'll have their previews up. We got our preview up right now on VB MMA Picks, sponsored by SX.bet, the world's largest blockchain betting exchange. So got a sponsor on that show, and really good time last night with George and VB. All right, who else is here today? Jermaine and Lando. Cash Kane is here today as well. And let's see who else is joining us. Good conversation in the chat. All right. Oh, Tamari, hello. Nice to have you there. Ready to go. Tamari talking about the plays in women's basketball last night. We had some premiums, didn't we, my friend? A couple of winners last night. And I went with the premiums in women's college basketball. So you see how I work a little bit if you're getting involved with my premium picks, right? I mean, there hasn't been a lot of games, so we moved some into the premium range with women's basketball last night with a 2-0 score with some. I think we had a couple of unders there last night. Great job by Team Steam. Like yesterday, I thought we had some good winners here. I had some winners. Villanova and Connecticut game to go under. We had here on the show also. We had the over with Loyola Chicago and Davidson last night. Had to give Mikey Money a hard time about that one. I can't one-up him too often. Central Michigan, speaking of which, Mikey had Central Michigan rolled there over Ohio yesterday. We had him on the show. Also, premium pick winner, Ball State Toledo to the under yesterday. I gave myself 4 and 5. I know a lot of people may have pushed on that Syracuse game, but I'll grade it at 10.5. That's what we sent out, and they lost by 11. So hopefully, you guys, if you were with me, got the 11. It was mostly 11 when it closed, but we went early and gave out 10.5. But Purdue, Michigan State game total under was a winner. Texas A&M, Mississippi State to the under was a winner. That was our consensus loser yesterday, guys, for the parlay. But good job, Mikey Money. Western Michigan over Buffalo on pre-gaming yesterday, and he also came through with some winners last night on the stream over there on Kick. We also had premium pick winner here with Air Force. Also, consensus winner, you guys nailed Wisconsin. How could you not? Wisconsin rolled in that game over Illinois last night. And Also, premium pick winner Seton Hall and Marquette game to go over. I had BYU here on the show yesterday. Late night, if you missed it, Minnesota beat UCLA 64-61. UCLA went south in the second half after building an early first half lead. And we did we gave out Minnesota on the kick show last night premium. We didn't score with the over, but UCLA made just nine free throws, 9 of 19 free throws, and Minnesota dominated inside for that win. Also, we were on last night for that BYU blowout, but I think we kind of called it there. Last night, BYU 91-57 for Jayhawks' historic loss last night at BYU. BYU's won 7 of their last 9. So, other one, UConn beat Villanova. They did not cover last night. So, I think that reviews the action here from yesterday. All right. And Jermaine, ready for that UFC? Thomas is ready for UIC. And Nuke said, how about the Gators, Ramon? Easy money, said for Florida. And let's see. Well, I think that's it. All right, let's run the commercial, and then we'll get started with the show. We got the NBA and the college basketball, and as well with the Champions League. We'll look at all 4 games. And you can get my best picks today over at winnable.com. I'll have plays today in college basketball for sure there. And yeah, I think we're going to look at some other sports. Slow day in college baseball, of course, but we'll pick up some action here probably in the maybe in the Champions League as well. I'll have some picks in the Champions League in a moment. I got a couple plays from Sub last night. He said he'd stop by in the chat today. Click on the QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. This will take you to my winnable page. There I have picks behind a paywall for $4 a day, $8 a week, or $19.95 a month. You can get longer terms, really, if you want. And the 1 month, though, just 50 cents a day when you use the promo code STEAM to save 20%. There's also a free package over there where we gave out a winner yesterday in college baseball, but I tried my hand at an unrivaled play last night and didn't come through, but we'll see. That one-on-one tournament for the women, I'm going to get out of the screen here. That one-on-one for the tournament for the women was pretty popular and had a big payday. And the NBA might want to start thinking about All-Star Weekend, maybe throwing a little one-on-one competition in there. Or maybe even some 3-on-3 a little bit, trying to help you. We're trying to help you here, NBA. I know my chat might not always have your best interest in mind, but look, when you have a 3-hour telecast and they're playing basketball for about 45 minutes of it, you have a 90-minute pregame, postgame, and in between each game, you got some guy coming out singing a song. I don't think that's going to how we do it. You watch how we do it tomorrow night on the ice. All right. Thanks for listening to that anyway. Use that promo code STEAM to save 20%. I've got more plays here. Try to give some free plays out. Look, my best plays are behind the paywall. My next best plays are, on the show. And then they were asking me last night, do you actually bet plays you don't send out? And I'm like, yeah, you bet I do. I said, I have Boston College, and I'm not going to, I wouldn't tell anybody about it. All right. Let's get to the action here tonight and start talking about that Lakers game. We want to get to the roll here. Trey Berry, hello. Andrew G, hello. All right. Hornets and Lakers to get us back into action. This is, I believe, actually a makeup game from the Fires. So they, say, hey, we got a day early here. Let's get them started. Of course, we're waiting for the Lakers, Dallas, and everything that you just heard me talk about a little bit, too, with the Mavericks situation with the Lakers. Hey, guess we all could lose a few pounds, right? Lakers double-digit favorite here, of course, tonight in this one. I heard a lot of talk about the over. I don't know how this one can maybe go over, but I'll save that. I'll maybe look to the side here when we talk about this game. The Lakers coming in kind of on a roll for sure at home anyway. 5 straight wins and covers at home. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone over when playing here in LA. So, a little bit of a weird start for, Charlotte right now. I think for sure is what you got to say to have to more of a weird start than for the Lakers. They're at home here, at least for this debut, for the second half debut here, while the Hornets will have to, more squeeze this one in on the road. So Charlotte's gone under in 4 of their last 5 coming in. The teams met back on January 27th at Charlotte. Lakers won in a push, 112 to 107. Now they got to lay 12. And look, we know how bad Charlotte has been, certainly, but they're still 26-12 against the spread, has an underdog. We keep kind of going to it. You want them to be healthy here, heading into the second half. But right now, that's just not necessarily the case with Miller, going to be out here for some time. But LaMelo is in, so it's always good for the Hornets, and maybe that will help them. Lakers 16-9 against the spread at home, 7-2-1 last 10 games heading into the break. LBJ is questionable here, but I would imagine he could be in there tonight. DFS probable, Vincent probable, Hayes probable. All those guys that had a little bit of shakeup towards the end of the first half are in. All right. So we'll go to the chat, see what you guys think here with the Hornets and the Lakers. Anything from you guys? Thomas likes the Hornets here today. Blues on the Hornets. I think probably going Hornets. We've done well with the Hornets. I mean, it's almost like, hey, LaMelo's in. We got a chance. Impromptu game, if that means anything. Lakers got a team that we expect to. Yeah, they got it. You know what? They did get a few sizable victories there. It felt like towards the end of the first half. Remember, covered against Utah as a double-digit favorite. But again, it doesn't feel like the type of team that's going to be covering here. Jermaine likes the over in this one. I don't think I can go that way in this one. Fernando's on the over as well. I'm sure I'll be on the minority side of the total in this one. All right. Nuke says LeBron, maybe just take this one off. And Thomas says, might as well just make this one a consensus. There's only one game. Everyone seems to be taking Charlotte. So let me get the sheet out here and mark it down as a consensus play today. And I'll just roll with the chat here. I'm kind of blaming you guys already. Okay, Robert on Charlotte as well. I loved when the Charlotte was a new team. I always thought I was the coolest guy in school. I'd wear the gear of the new expansion teams. I had a Charlotte Hornets. I don't know what it was. It had a collar that said Hornets on it, and it had Hornets on the sleeves, and the big first version of the B on the front. All right. Thomas says he doesn't think LeBron will even make it to the lineup here. It almost feels like you might want to take this one off after what you pulled there in the All-Star game. I know that I got in trouble with Nunya, remember, with me getting all upset because he was really, picking on LeBron's social efforts a little bit. But what he did on the All-Star game was kind of BS. I'll admit to that for sure. All right. Oh, I think we're good on this one. Let's get to Hugo the Hornet. Tara Trey says, Hugo the Hornet. I just called him the first version Hornet. He's still Hugo. Hugo the Hornet, yeah. All right, I think there was some steam that came in before we roll the college basketball action here. with Omaha. Let's see it right now. Nebraska, Omaha, and Missouri, Kansas City. Steam to the over here gets us going. And this one was 142.5 up to 143.5. That seems like a pretty good move right there. I probably would back that, but I'll look into it a little more. Didn't preview it here on the show. Omaha and Kansas City. This one, steam to the over here gets us started right now. Hurricane Hugo. No, that's not relevant, right? Is it? All right, let's go to the colleges. I've got about 10 to 12 games to look at here today, mostly of the major conference variety. Okay, so the one piece of news here is there's been some time changes on the college card today. Temple and Charlotte will now be played at 3 Eastern and noon Pacific. I think they announced this, yes, I don't know if it was yesterday, late last night, whatever. But the game between Temple and Charlotte is a time change to 3 Eastern and noon Pacific, which, hey, we'll take that every time, won't we? When it comes to day game here, we'll take that. All right. And also, I thought there was one other time change here. Maybe it was on a different day. Yeah, okay, tomorrow's game. Oh, well, if you want to know right now. Tomorrow's game between Marshall and Old Dominion, time change as well. I believe this is at, I want to say, uh, 5 p.m. Eastern and 2 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow. New time for Marshall and Old Dominion. Okay, so let's go now to the card here. I wasn't even doubting you, Robert. I was just like, but Hurricane Hugo, that was like, that's an OG hurricane right there. A Nuke. I appreciate Nuke giving us a play on the game that I don't even have a preview on it, Nuke, and I thank you for doing that. Why not? Why not? A couple of steam moves coming in right now, real quick before we get started. And it's a UMass top of the board here, or formerly top of the board, officially top of the board. UMass taking steam here right now against VCU. It was 18. We're going to be down to probably 17.5 or maybe even 16 here with some steam coming in on UMass. And Indiana State right now is taking some steam also in their matchup today against Evansville. They were a 7-point favorite, now 7.5. Could be moving higher here right now with Evansville and Indiana State. Indiana State taking that steam. All right. Jermaine says we should have 20 games previewed. All right, Jermaine. I agree. We should preview every game every day, but we got to be realistic and pretend it's like a 2.5-hour show. Nebraska and Penn State will start us off up here at the 6:30 hour with our Big Ten action to get us rolling here in this one. You've got it's not a pick 'em anymore. The steam came in on Nebraska here just as I was going on the air. I would think they're probably a 1-point favorite. No, okay. I'm still showing Nebraska, Penn State, maybe 1 here even, but the steam, I promise you, did come in a little bit on Nebraska just as I was getting ready to go on the air here, but still shows a 1-point favorite for Penn State at a lot of spots. The sharpest book here in Vegas, though, has moved to a pick 'em. In this one with Nebraska 17-9 coming in, Penn State 13-13 coming into this one. The Penn State on I want to say it's 7-game losing streak here right now. So Jermaine wants to preview 20 games. I could barely get this one, and you got Penn State, not looking good. 7 games. They've lost 11 of their last 12. Can only beat Rutgers here right now is what it seems like. So, I would feel Nebraska's probably going to be pretty popular here. No wonder the steam came in on them. Are we at any point to fade this Penn State team that is struggling right now. Well, meanwhile, Nebraska's been pretty hot. Remember, they were on a losing streak of 6 games and then came back to ride a 4-game winning streak, including wins over Ohio State, Illinois. You can laugh now, but we weren't laughing back then. And they did lose at home to Maryland. That's happening a little bit more of late, and they beat Northwestern last time out. So go to the chat here and see what you have in this one with Nebraska and Penn State. I'll go with the total because I have a feeling it's going to be it might be a consensus play. Let's see what you guys do though in this one. Thomas went with Indiana State on that Evansville game. I like that, Thomas. I like when you guys just go ahead and choose the other games too. I don't mind that. Yeah. All right. Hello, good morning to AOD. Cash Kane likes the under here, and so do I, Cash. I'm going under here. I know we just started showing a few of the picks, but I'm going under. And there's Joe in the chat. Good to see Joe. Good morning to Phil Eagle Flyer. Thomas on Nebraska. Robert on Nebraska. And Nuke says, I'm going to be big on Nebraska. Penn State not doing good at all right now. So I don't know. It might be enough for a consensus from you guys. I could obviously chip in. I've seen other cappers out there on Nebraska, certainly. But I'm going to go under here as my pick. I just want to make another pick. I don't know if I don't necessarily disagree with Nebraska here. But Thomas says it is a consensus play, and why not? Nebraska is 11-6 against the spread as a favorite, and they've also covered 6 of the last 7 meetings against the Lions. How about that? They've won 7 of the last 9 games, Penn State's actually won 7 of the last 9 games between the two teams, but Nebraska usually is the dog, and they cover. Teams haven't met yet this season, but Nebraska won the last 2. They've won 3 of the last 4. Is that right? Have the Huskers? Okay, I stand corrected. So it must be 7 at home. That's what it is. 7 of the last 9 at home Penn State has won. So, 10-year sample size or something like that. So not necessarily good enough for me there. I'm going to end up here. I'm taking the under. I think I just said I'll take the under. Jermaine says, I thought PSU was kind of an over team. Yeah, you'd think, but now all of a sudden they've hit the skids. And now they're 9-16 to the under this season and 3-7 to the under in their last 10 games. All right, steam move come in here real quick before we get on to the next one, shall we? South Dakota taking some steam here at home against St. Thomas. You mean they haven't steamed the total just yet? Could we see 200 points in regulation between St. Thomas and South Dakota today? I'm half kidding. The steam has come in on South Dakota, however. They were getting 4.5, and it's down to probably 3.5 here, it looks like, with South Dakota. What's the final score of that one going to be? 90-87 between St. Thomas and South Dakota today? It's not a preview. You can put your pick in there. Another steam move coming in right now. It's on Washington State. How about that? Oh, boy. We're getting backed up here all of a sudden. Illinois State is taking some steam here right now in their matchup tonight with Bradley. Illinois State, probably the better cover of the two, even though Bradley kind of, it is a near pick'em here right now. In fact, we'll just call it a pick'em. Illinois State is taking the steam. I'll leave it at that. Probably a pick'em here right now. Maybe Illinois State could move to a favorite. Also, right before that, it was Washington State taking steam in their matchup against Gonzaga tonight. Washington State's going to be pretty popular at the window, I have a feeling, here I don't know if it'll be a Gonzaga party as far as all the bettors. I mean, got a power issue over here with the Steam update and with other things. All right, so Washington State taking the Steam here right now. They were plus 13. They're going to be down to 12 and a half or 12 here tonight against Gonzaga. Wow. All right, let's keep going with our previews here. Next up, Vanderbilt and Kentucky. In this one with Kentucky minus 5.5 and the total 161. Where's the defense in college basketball, or is just the way it is? Why are we worried about the pros when we can't keep these scores under control every night? More college basketball steam coming in. We'll get to it. All right, let's see what we got here. South Dakota over. My best bet, Super True says. 175, not enough, is what Super True says. Fernando's got his Champions League action. I promise you. We'll have the previews here, but Fernando says Dortmund and Lisbon here. He's got over 4.5 corners. Blue went under in that Nebraska game with me. And Jermaine says the dogs may be coming through. Thomas said take the Cougars on that one. We'll preview it, Thomas. We'll get there. And there's Robert also on South Dakota in that matchup that we talked about. Blue likes Vandy in this one. I haven't even started with this game. Let's get talking about Vandy and Kentucky. Well, I think you heard what I was just saying there. I'm probably going to be on the over, but I don't know. Maybe there'll be everyone kind of ready to kind of go back to Kentucky here a little bit. At least the public is what it feels like to me, but not our sophisticated crew like Blue. He says take Vanderbilt. Cash Kane says Vandy. Oh, no, Cash Kane over with me, I think. Jermaine says Vandy. I'm going to be on the over in this game. Mr. Under might be taking the over in this, pretty awesome game here. Certainly, yeah, we'll get to all that steam. Man, it's rolling in here this morning with this great Wednesday card. Kentucky for Thomas here, it looks like. Robert, though, liking Vandy here. Vanderbilt has covered 5 straight meetings at Kentucky. 5 of the last 6 meetings at Kentucky between these two teams have gone over. Thomas says Vandy was a consensus. What was the other consensus, Thomas? Was it the under in the Nebraska game and I just missed it? So Vandy is the consensus play here of the chat. Okay, not a lot of Kentucky in there other than Thomas. I think, Thomas did say money line. Hey, we hit that one yesterday. That we had the consensus was on Ohio money line. I said I like Central Michigan plus the points. It landed right in the middle. All right. Oh, it was Nebraska, though. Yes, you're right. We did go with Nebraska. Man, we're going to have a big ticket here today. Vandy is the team steam consensus here. Super True likes Duquesne is a recommendation against Fordham today. All right. Super True likes the over here with me in this one. I got to go over in this game. I don't know if there's not necessarily a lot of trends here. The season series over a little bit. Kentucky's 9-7 to the over at home. All right. I think that'll do it for that one. I'll take the over. Consensus is on Vandy. Okay, let's catch up again on some more steam real quick. Boise State taking some steam here right now in their matchup with New Mexico tonight. New Mexico on the road, New Mexico at home, sometimes two different things. Boise was a 2-point, is that right? Boise is shot up here. I got to double check it now. They were a 2-point favorite overnight. They're up to 5 right now at Bovada. This is huge steam on Boise here tonight. I would imagine maybe we're going to get some news on, I don't know, could Mashburn be out? We just haven't heard this yet. We got uh, Amsel questionable, Nolan questionable. Okay, it's 5 right now. Boise tonight against New Mexico there. Steam just a few moments ago, big time on Boise, it felt like. Okay, a couple more that came in. Tulsa and North Texas steam to the over in this one with Tulsa and North Texas. I think Tulsa, some of these conference games, getting points on the road, do go over, steam to the over here in that one. It was 127.5 up to 128.5 with Texas, Tulsa and North Texas. Also, Portland took some steam in their matchup against St. Mary's. Um, Portland was getting 25.5. They're down to 24.5 here right now, I believe. Maybe even 24, 23.5 right now at Bovada. Move on Portland. About a point and a half, 2-point move here on Portland this morning on the Morning Steam Show. All right. Hope you're enjoying what I'm talking about. Let's go to Cincinnati and West Virginia here. A little bit of a, it's not Pitt in West Virginia, but definitely a good one here with West Virginia favored in this one, -3. And the total is, I want to make sure I got this one right here, because I thought there was 130. Yeah, okay, 130. It only made me double check because it was considerably lower. This has already moved a little bit here. Not necessarily widely reported steam, but just peculiar because I don't know, if I'm thinking Cincinnati and West Virginia, I'm thinking under. Aren't you guys? But this total has moved higher here. Maybe it's 129.5 at some spots right now, but I mean, come on. When you're talking Cincinnati this season, West Virginia, these two teams are a combined 15 and 34 to the under so far this season. Cincinnati's gone under in 8 of their last 10 games on the road. West Virginia's gone under in 7 of their last 8 games at home. I mean, this sounds like too easy here, even at 130. I don't think they could come close to this. Now, Cincinnati has been scoring a little bit higher, it feels like, here of late. They scored 85 in a win against Utah, 84 in a win against BYU, and 93 points against Central Florida. But I don't think that's Morgantown, even though those are decent teams, certainly. Just feels like West Virginia 4-12 to the under at home, 3-7 to the under as a favorite. West Virginia's won 6 of the last 7 times here at home against Cincinnati. However, Cincinnati's covered 4 out of the last 5 meetings here. So it's West Virginia wins and Cincinnati covers. At least that's kind of the way it's been. Last meeting was just 2 weeks ago or so, 2.5 weeks ago. It was 63-50 in that one. West Virginia got the win as a 5.5-point dog on the road in a bizarre 113-point game. So got to give me the under here with Cincinnati and West Virginia. Probably should be a premium, but I'm not sure about the side. Look, like I said, West Virginia wins, Cincinnati covers. They're not quite getting maybe as many points, but Cincinnati is just 2-5 against the spread on the road as a dog. So I'll just take that under. Thank you. See what else we got here today. Hello to William Dryman. Great to have you. I don't know about the show being almost over, my friend. We're probably got another hour here, it feels like. I'm not complaining. I've got 57 of you held hostage here waiting for the next bit of Steam data maybe coming in. Get to them in just a second. I heard two more plays come out. Here's Cash Kane, Cincy, Thomas on West Virginia, Robert on Cincy. So I don't think we've calmed the consensus backers down a little bit here. We're not going to have a 20 teamer, but I'm going to take that under. Here comes, okay, we got about 4 or 5 steam moves here. Thank you to Don Best. Anybody else subscribe to Don Best with me out here, or is it just too expensive, or is it worthless because, like they said, the steam out of context? Right now, the line is moving in the game between Providence and Georgetown. The line service just told us so. Providence is getting steamed right now. They were plus 3.5. It's probably going to go down to 2.5 here in a great game. I can't believe it. I think, no, we have this. It's the next game. Our next preview is Providence and Georgetown. But let me get these other steam plays down. You can digest it. It's down to 2.5 here, I believe, right now. For sure, pretty much everywhere, moving to 2.5. So this is real-time sports betting information with me here, except our scoreboard seems to be stuck from last night. It says the games are still going. All right. Let's get a few more here in Central Florida. In their game, we're previewing this one as well. Central Florida and their matchup tonight against Oklahoma State. Right now, Central Florida has taken the steam here big time. They have actually gone from a 2-point dog, has Central Florida, to a pick'em right now. Central Florida taking the steam here tonight against Oklahoma State. Also, moments ago, Wofford and VMI steam to the over here in the matchup between Wofford and VMI. This one was 141.5. We're up to 142.5 here with Wofford and VMI, a series that produces a lot of overs. I'm pretty sure about that. And it got steamed to the over here right now. If I was more prepared and had a professional show, I'd have that data ready and just tell it to you instead of trying to use my old, aging, decaying brain. Vanderbilt taking some steam here in that matchup we just talked about. Consensus play was on Vanderbilt. I'm checking the time that came in. It was about 6 minutes ago. I think we were talking about it on the air. Maybe you guys convince the sharps to move on Vanderbilt with your consensus play. We talked when we were talking about it. It was 5.5, but now we're down to 4.5 here at most spots in the matchup between Vanderbilt and Kentucky. Team steam might have moved that one. All right, let's continue on with this one. Providence and Georgetown here. We just talked about it. That steam that came rolling in on Providence here. Look, they might actually be in their best position in this matchup. Providence has won 5 straight meetings against the Hoyas. It's not an exact turnaround here. Remember, Coach Cooley's been here for a season and a half. Just if you think we're rolling with them every time, going up against this good Providence team, certainly here right now playing well. But Georgetown's won 10 of their last 13 games at home coming in. So this feels like a pretty good game worth previewing here with Providence and Georgetown. Providence is under 500 at 12-14, but they did snap their losing streak last time out with that win over Villanova. 75-62 is a 2.5-point dog for Georgetown. They lost to Butler on the road by 11, getting just 3.5 there, but they had won. They beat Seton Hall, held them to 46 points. This one's tough, man. Providence gone over in 5 of their last 6 games overall. 8 of their last 10 they've gone over as well. Providence is 10-5 against the spread as 10-5 against the spread as an underdog this season. I'm going to go to the chat and see what you guys have in this one with Providence and Georgetown.
It's good playing.
And we're going to start off with blue. Has Providence here. Take those points. Also, good morning to Curtis. Thank you, Curtis, for everything. Robert is on the Friars here in this one also. Jermaine liking that total steam on the BMI game. Super True on Georgetown. And let's see here. And Andrew analyzing that Lakers game there, thinking Luka gets one in here. And Jermaine on Providence as well. I need to analyze the steam now, and I don't know if I have time to do so. I was already looking at the total here, and even though I talked about Providence and these overs, they're playing Georgetown, baby. It's going under tonight. I'm going under with Providence and Georgetown at 140.5. That'll be my play here. Cash Kane says, I think got this one as a Georgetown spot here. Providence is just 2-6 straight up on the road. Georgetown 13-2 straight up as a favorite. They still have to cover a number, but the old saying, teams that win, especially down there in this range, they have a better chance to cover sometimes. It's true. So, okay, that probably do it for that one. Providence, I think also, let's see, 8 in a row right now. 8 straight wins for Providence over Georgetown. That has to help. Okay, I think I said 5 straight. It's actually 8 straight here. They played 78-68 back on January 25th. Providence got the money. Okay, Thomas on Providence there as well. I think you like that series history there. Dominant Providence for sure. Okay, a couple moves came in there just moments ago with Oral Roberts taking that steam here. Oral taking it, so to speak. They were getting 4 down to 3 here in their matchup at Denver today. Even I had to chuckle at that one. Denver probably in a pretty decent, situation with this game at home, but we'll see. More steam right behind it with Utah State laying it here to San Jose State. Now, Utah State hasn't been a great cover. San Jose State, well, I don't want to say that. Utah State has been okay, but San Jose State still one of the best cover teams in the country. However, right now, Utah State's getting steamed. It was 17. It's going to be 19, I believe, here by the time the steam gets finished. Final. Right now, with Utah State getting steamed here right now. And got some tennis going on here today. I'm watching some tennis action. Some finals are coming in from the courts here. Mostly watching. The women are just about done. Well, no, they got a couple more, but the men are just getting going here in Qatar right now. So, okay, here we go. Trying to find that steam. Okay, here we go. One more move came in, was on Nebraska Omaha in their matchup. We already talked about the total moving in that game. Right now, Omaha is taking that steam in that matchup with Missouri, Kansas City. Omaha, pretty good cover this year, right? Or yeah, Kansas City not as good. And it was 3. We're down to 2 here right now with Omaha +2 against Kansas City. Took that steam. All right. Next up on our previews, SMU and Notre Dame here with SMU on the road, a road favorite right now at Notre Dame. Feels like a pretty key game here in the ACC in this one with Notre Dame. Underdog here at home against SMU. Man, this feels like, SMU. These games are important. We were talking about teams last night on Kick. I want to pass this one along real quick. Cincinnati and West Virginia is getting steamed to the under right now. I already talked about it because of the massive trends of these two teams going under this season. And right now, this one is getting hit pretty hard. It's going to go to 129 here right now, Cincinnati and West Virginia under steam on the morning steam. Okay. Anyways, with SMU here and Notre Dame, last night on the Kick Show, we were talking about all the teams that were maybe going to get in, how many teams were in. And I was like, well, man, from the ACC, how many can you really put in here? 3 from the ACC. Is that the way this is going to go? And I think the guys seem to be in agreement there, the way things have gone in the ACC so far this season. So we'll see. It does feel like an important one tonight for SMU. They come in off of a loss here. They're 19-6, but they are unranked here up against 11-14 Notre Dame team. SMU lost to Wake Forest at home as a 6.5-point favorite last time out, snapping their 4-game winning streak. SMU is 12-9 against the spread as a favorite this season. SMU has won 7 of their last 8 games on the road, and they're 5-2 against the spread on the road in their last 7 road games. Notre Dame is 13 and is a 8-4 straight up at home this season, but they're 0-10 straight up as an underdog this season. So that may be enough to put you over the top here. Notre Dame's gone under in 5 straight games at home. Conversely, SMU as a favorite is 19-3 this season straight up. They still would have to cover 2 points, but understand that SMU is an underdog 0-3 straight up. All right, so still kind of want to roll with SMU here to get this one done. I like the total as well, but I'm going to take the Mustangs. I can't talk up a story like that without going on SMU here. And plus, I know I've been, totals are my game. So I know I've been bringing a lot of totals, but if I get a side, I'm going to go with it here. I'm sure the total will be premium later on here today. But I'll take a SMU here. Maybe Notre Dame will win one as an underdog for once this season. All right. I think Jermaine might be on the Oral Roberts, Robert Morris parlay, maybe. Or no, well, Oral Bob's horrible, but all right. Nate likes Providence in that game. Of course he does. We had to wake Nate up by talking Providence basketball today. Thank you, Nate. SMU for blue. I think Thomas likes SMU. Cash Kane, you're right. I think they need this. That's what I was saying last night. It just feels so crucial right now in the ACC when you look at the standings currently. I said 3 teams. I'm going to look at it one more time here real quick. That'd be Duke, Clemson, and Louisville. And then you've got Wake Forest and SMU, and I think from there, that's all you could consider. And maybe it'll only be one of those teams, Wake Forest and SMU. So you're right. It does feel critical for SMU. I totally think that is what I was trying to get at there a little bit. All right. Thank you, Oldie. Nice to see you today. And Bobby Mack, though, going to be on the Irish here in this one. All right. You got me, Bob. I'll take SMU. Okay, next up. Okay, got to go one for Jermaine here a little bit. We got to try to dig deep. Not dig deep. I mean, we're not digging deep here really with this one, but getting a little bit off the major conference path here, I think, is what we're doing right now in this one. Taking a look at Northern Iowa going up here against Belmont. A pretty important game here for Northern Iowa. 12-4 right now in conference. 1 game back of Drake. Obviously, Drake is showing a little bit of vulnerability now, so maybe Northern Iowa. Belmont's 10-6, not quite Belmont-ish this year, but nonetheless, we've got to pick them here tonight in the matchup, and the total is a 154. Belmont now is a 1.5-point favorite. There we go. All right, yeah. So Belmont's moved to the favorite here in this one. Okay, there we go. All right, I can go now. Belmont comes in 18 and both teams come in 18-9 currently in this one overall. It's Northern Iowa though with a red hot winning streak coming into this one. They're off of a win over Murray, 74-67. They're hot right now, no doubt in conference play, kind of making a move here with those 5 straight wins over Indiana State, Illinois State, Missouri State, and Bradley, going 4-1 against the spread in those games. Remember that Murray State game was actually played at Belmont here. So see what you have in this. We've got some other moves coming in, so we'll talk about it here. Northern Iowa, 17-9 against the spread this season, 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 as part of this big surge here of late. Meanwhile, Belmont, maybe they've been overrated. It feels like part of this season right now, 4-8-2 against the spread at home, and 5-8-2 against the spread as a favorite. Now, Northern Iowa, now a dog. They are 2-4 against the spread as an underdog, even though they've been very good against the spread overall. 15-5 against the spread as a favorite. So get your play here maybe in on this one. I'm going to probably move to the total though here. I think. Look, I mean, I probably. You get the gist of where I'm going. I might be hitting this one a little bit on the premium side, but I'm going to end up going over here as my play with Northern Iowa and Belmont in this one. Belmont at home, 11-3 to the over at home this season. And UNI is definitely an under team, so I don't have anything to, kind of compare it to necessarily. Just at Belmont over in 10 of their last 11 at home, and Northern Iowa's definitely going under. So you have a clash here, and what's going to happen. The teams just met back on. Actually, they met on January 1st, and it went under. It went under considerably. 146. It was the same total as this one here. So I'm still going over though in this one with Northern Iowa and Belmont today. Let's go to the chat though and see what you have in this one. All right, here is Chosen One starts us off, and he likes the Belmont Bruins in this one. On that steam, good morning to James Parm. Cash Kane on Northern Iowa. Jermaine's on Northern Iowa. So we got 2 there on. Oh, Thomas says that's enough for him. Let's put Northern Iowa in there as a consensus play. Probably, I would think Thomas maybe likes it too. Then that's because James Parm's on Belmont. All right. Chosen One says that we got that short rest there for Northern Iowa. Yeah, we just mentioned that one here. Played the game here in Tennessee, so they've probably been hanging out here, I would guess, right? Bobby Mack says Belmont. And Spoons, great to see Spoons there. Spoons doing great work. Thank you, Spoons. You're doing great work. All right. So I'll go ahead and pivot to the total here in this one. Sounds like Team Steam's on Northern Iowa. I'm sure Thomas could tell what I was doing anyways, so I'm sure he's incorporating that feeling in there as well. I'm going to the total because I actually thought maybe, I'm probably going to use them as a premium, but I don't know. If consensus is on them, let's just roll with consensus today. All right, I'll take the over as my play. All right, look at this one, huh? How about Oregon taking on Iowa tonight? Oregon a favorite here on the road, -1.5. And the total in this one currently at 160. Down here a couple of points. Showing the sharp books are actually lower than the square books here in this one. So maybe the intonation is that it is going to be a low scoring game, but I don't know. Is it really? Come on. This is Iowa. We've been making fun of them for weeks here now. It seems like the way they're going, but really it's been Oregon that's been in some of the higher scoring games here of late. Although I think Oregon, look, it's yet to be seen. I want to say that some of my historical numbers I have to take, even I have to take with a grain of salt when you're trying to work them into some of this Big Ten play, trying to look at the other Big Ten games and how they're, kind of fitting in to the totals and how this is affecting. So, still, it does feel like Oregon right now games are. I mean, they're all 160 points. It feels like, aren't they? Let's see what we got. Well, Rutgers game, I'm not going to get too harsh on that. The total was still 153, but it did go 132. The Northwestern game was 156. The Michigan State game was 160. The Michigan game was 156. And the Nebraska game was 148, but that still went over 147.5. So, all right. I get it. I don't know if it's going to stop me here from playing another total here on the morning steam, but for Oregon, they have won 10 of their last, let's see here, 10 of their last 15 games on the road dating back to last season, but they're just 4-4 straight up on the road this year. Still, they're 15-5 straight up as a favorite. In Iowa, just 1-9 straight up as an underdog. Here now, granted, they are 11-4 straight up at home, but they're a dog here. And Iowa, 4 of their last 5 games at home have gone under, but they are 7-3 to the over as a dog. Oregon's 12-8 to the over as a favorite. Oregon's gone over in 4 of their last 5 games on the road. I'm going to take the over here in this one, but man, look, Iowa. First meeting between these two teams in 4 years, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. But I'll just take the over here. See what you guys have in Oregon and Iowa. I might be playing this one as a premium today, I'm thinking. Here's Thomas on Oregon, okay? Yep. And Spoon says, want to take Iowa here, and then Oregon, right? We're still trying to figure those out, right? A little bit, Spoons, how some of these teams, it feels like I don't know, it feels for me like I've been more accurate with the Pac-12 teams are hosting the games. I say Pac-12, the West Coast Big Ten teams, you know what I mean, are hosting. It seems like I'm more accurate with the picks. Not that matters any. Maybe I get too carried away with probably my own internal biases even though I was cautioning, them going on the road, and maybe I've been wrong about their ability to compete. UCLA is obviously doing a nice job, but look what happened last night. James says go over. Robert's on the Hawkeyes here. All right, give me the over in this one, but probably be one of those like I was kidding last night. I'll bet it, but I'm not telling anybody about it. Kind of feel like I got to be on Oregon here. I mean, Iowa, that's pretty bad. When you're 1-9, as an underdog, still it's only 1.5. I get it. Sometimes you're an underdog by 3, 4, or 5 or more, but okay. Here we go with a little bit of steam coming in. We'll get to the last few games here on the college basketball card. I got 4 more I'm looking at. New Mexico and Boise State is one of them, but there's steam in that game right now, so let me point that out. The steam is moving over here in this one. I was going to give out the under when we reach that point. I'll take another look at it real quick. Don't hold me to it, but pretty sure I'm going to be on the under here and get the value here. New Mexico and Boise State. This one is up to 151 and a half, maybe even 152 here right now with New Mexico and Boise State. Steam came in earlier on Boise State, remember, and now it's going over. So I don't think that is reflective of the New Mexico potential injuries there. Another game we're going to preview here in just a few moments. We said Steam came in on Central Florida, taking that game to about a pick 'em. Well, right now the Steam's also coming in here on the under in this matchup between Central Florida and Oklahoma State, down to 159 here from 160. Also added board Gardner Webb taking steam in this one against Longwood. Gardner Webb was getting 5, and now they're down to 4 here right now. Steam coming in on Gardner Webb in their matchup with Longwood on the extra board today. All right, South Alabama and Arkansas State took some steam here a short while ago on the under. These are two teams, especially South Alabama, I think, that produces some unders so far this season. Steam came in on the under here at 142. That's down to 141 here right now with South Alabama and Arkansas State. Missouri State and Valpo. Steam to the under a short time ago as well. This one, we talked about Missouri State got steamed earlier against Valpo, and now the steam came in on the under here. It was 140 and a half, down to 139 and a half or so here with Missouri State and Valpo. Got steamed to the under. Also, game we just talked about, Northern Iowa and Belmont. Okay, interestingly enough, with talking about my pick in there, it got steamed to the under. I went over, so call me crazy. I don't always chase the steam. I didn't even notice that. Did I update it? Steam play. There's another one right behind it, but I'm looking at this Belmont steam here. It's down to 152 and a half. It did come in a little bit after there, right when we was talking about it. 152 and a half. So, hey, I'm going to get a better number here at the end of the show. Okay. Wow. This just in. Oregon and Iowa is getting steamed to the under here right now in a game where I just went over. I obviously am not a sharp. This one is coming in here now at 158 and a half here at the sharpest book in Vegas. This one gets steamed to the under here right now. Oregon and Iowa. Well, I went over. It's getting steamed to the under right now. Take a look. Oregon and Iowa steam to the under. So, hey, back to back. Maybe they're on here fading me. Maybe that's what it is, right, Thomas? You just said it. All right, here's another one I don't think I agree with right now. I'm not making a pick. I don't have it in the preview. Furman and Samford. This one's getting steamed to the over right now. I beats me. I would think with these two teams, I'd be thinking under City. It is at 152 here right now, maybe 152 and a half. So I know it's a big number, but when I'm thinking about, I wanted to go under in that matchup. Okay, let me keep it going here right now. More steam coming in with St. John's and DePaul. We definitely were not previewing this one tonight with St. John's, a big favorite, but the steam's coming in on the under here. Was 144 down to 143 right now. Steam to the under. That usually goes over, and, with these two teams, St. John's is always better than DePaul. We know that. Maybe not as good as St. John's is now, but that series always goes over, but here comes the steam on the under there. Also, seconds ago, Portland and St. Mary's. Here's more steam right now on the over in the game between Portland and St. Mary's. We already said Portland took the steam at plus 25. And now here comes some steam to the over in that one at 138 up to 139 with Portland and St. Mary's. Are we having fun yet here on the Morning Steam Show? See if I can get one more for us. Yes, it was another one here where I don't know, they're fading Ramon today. Providence and Georgetown got steamed to the over here. I just took the under about a half an hour ago. Uh, it got steamed here up to 141, 141 and a half right now with Providence and Georgetown steamed to the over. Coming in right this second, more steam on your favorite Oral Roberts in that game against Denver. It's getting steamed here right now to the over in that matchup. That makes more sense, I would think. Uh, this one was 147 up to 148 right now with Oral Roberts and Denver steam coming in right now. One more, and then we can get back on it. Illinois, Chicago, and Drake. This will be our only chance, I think, to talk about. Well, you guys mentioned Drake a little bit earlier, but obviously they're still the talk of the country, despite a little bit of another hiccup here, showing that they're not all that. But we did see the steam come in on the over here, Illinois, Chicago, and Drake up to 134. Can't stop, won't stop. Miami of Florida and Florida State steam to the over right now, coming in at 152 and a half, and it's going higher here. The game with Miami of Florida and Florida, it's up to 153 and a half right now in that one. Florida State, we'll see, but those home conference games as favorites, I don't know. Those are sometimes unders. All right, are we finally all caught up here? I believe so. Okay, let's go to that next matchup with Alabama and Missouri here, the game of the night. Obviously, in this one, Missouri, a 1 point favorite here over Alabama, and the total here at 169 right now, maybe 168 and a half. I'm showing Missouri has moved maybe to a 1.5 point favorite here in the big matchup of the night between Alabama and Missouri. Wow. All right, Alabama 21-4 coming in, ranked fourth right now, but coming off that loss, of course, to Auburn 94-85 as a 2 point favorite. So, look, they kind of came back. It felt like they were never going to come back. Fell behind, got reasonably close that you kind of thought maybe they were making a game of it, but it just didn't work out that way. So for Alabama here, they've won 5 straight games, however, on the road. Missouri's won 16 of their last 18 games at home. Missouri's gone under in 6 of their last 7 at home. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Let's go to the chat and see what you have to say. I'm going to leave it to you guys here. I think you're going to get some split opinions, it feels like, on the side tonight. Let me go to the chat. A lot of comments maybe here. Okay. Here we go. Chosen one talking. That under is that previous game there. Hope I didn't miss that. Spoons talking about that New Mexico game, the big game tonight in the Mountain West. And let's see here. Thomas is on Florida State in that matchup we talked about. Here we go. Curtis on Alabama. And Jermaine going to be leaning under here. High Tide, says Chosen One. Roberts on Missouri, though. Yep, I thought it would be like this. It feels like a little bit. And James Parm on Missouri. I'm skipping Cash Kane's comment about not betting this game. I mean, come on. We got to bet this game somehow. This is going to be a great game. Thomas is on the over. I'm on the under. That's all right, Thomas. We can't always be on the same team, but I'm taking the under in Alabama and Missouri. I know SEC, man. I know it's all going, but look, like I said, Missouri's under in 6 of their last 7 at home. All right. Cash King going to take the OT here. Textile says Mizzou. All right. Yeah, no consensus there for sure. I'm on the under with Alabama and Missouri. Okay, we said we'd preview it. We just gave you the steam that came in there on the under in the Central Florida and Oklahoma State game down to now 150 157 and a half. I gotta change this graphic for sure. 157 and a half here at the sharpest book in Vegas. So call it 158 everywhere else. No, let's call it 157 and a half. It's even 157 now at some of the square books. So pretty significant move here for sure in this one on the total. And we're seeing the line here, mostly 1.5 now. So definitely a little bit of a move to Central Florida after the other steam that we reported earlier. Let me go to the chat. I'll go to you guys maybe first on this one because I got to reevaluate here a little bit, but I'm pretty sure I'm still going the same direction. Yeah, for sure. Let's go to the chat. Here in this one, Central Florida's on a losing streak right now for sure. Let's see here. Can't just throw it to the chat without a little bit of numbers here. A little bit. Let's see what this losing streak is at right now, because they've been They lost, let's see here, at Colorado, 76-63 is a 1.5 point dog. Failed against Iowa State as a dog. Failed against Baylor as a dog. Lost to Cincinnati, so lost to BYU. So it's not going well here all of a sudden for Central Florida. For Oklahoma State here, they come in right now off of 2 consecutive losses to Texas Tech as a 9.5 point dog. Remember, they lost it by 38 points the other night. TCU, they lost 73-72, although they did get the money, and they were covering numbers there, getting the money. So, oh man, this one feels tough. Why did I pick this one? All right, help me out here in the chat. If any, I don't see much action in the chat. Oh my gosh. All right, Robert going under here. Robert going under here in this one with that steam there. He took Oklahoma State. Thank you. I think Robert just did the segment here a little bit for me in this one. But for Oklahoma State, they are 8-2 to the over in their last 10. UPF 6-1 to the over on the road. And I pressured Robert there to give me the play, but I think I'm going over here in this one with Central Florida and Oklahoma State tonight. Another one where I'm fading that steam. What is going on here? All right, a few more plays. There's Textiles like Oklahoma State in this game. I don't know if I'll ever get there on this game. How about all this steam rolling in, though? We're having a fun time. Let's go over some of it here with Winthrop. Winthrop took the steam here a short time ago. We were just previewing some other games, and I saw Winthrop was a 2-point favorite. They're up to 3 here right now, taking some steam against Presby. Wow. Steam play. Hard to believe the game would ever even be 2 or 3 in past years, but hey, hats off to Presby. Good morning to Sub in the chat. We're almost to the soccer segment here, so maybe Sub timed it a little bit. Let me get a couple basketball games out of the way, Sub. You can get ready if you want here. you guys talked about it, New Mexico and Ricky Pitino heading up to Boise. Yep, tough place to play, no doubt about it. Boise comes in 17-8, but this is special. This New Mexico team, right now with with Dent, with Joseph, these guys are great, and they're having an incredible season, and I think they can represent this conference here this time around. We already talked about, though, how this spread has gone up big time, up to 5 here. Kind of tough to ignore, especially when I have it wrong on. It was 2, I promise you, and maybe it's 4.5. I'll call it 4.5 for the most part right now. Total is down here to 152.5. I don't think the total might have been a typo. Let me see here. It is definitely 152.5, but I don't think it was ever 156. That was a typo. But the 2 was accurate. All right. See what you have here with New Mexico taking on Boise tonight. At the Taco Bell or no, what is it? Chevron Arena, whatever it's called, right? We make fun of Boise. I know what it's called, but we make fun of Boise. So, all right, New Mexico comes in having won 6 of their last 7 games on the road. They're on a long winning streak here right now, including wins over Utah State and Wyoming at home over the week. But we'll note they didn't cover the spread in those games. They were laying 4.5 and 16.5. Still, New Mexico 3-1 against the spread as an underdog this season. All Boise has to do is win here, right? Boise 9-5 against the spread at home. They've covered 5 straight right now at the Chevron Arena. They did lose, of course, to San Diego State on the road last time out, 64-47. It was a clunker, no doubt about it. I was thinking that Boise had a chance, feeling down about the Aztecs, who blew out an opponent again last night. They're getting it together a little bit against the Sad Sacks. So anyway, Boise here, a moving favorite. Boise 11-1, straight up at home, as noted in the chat. Their great home record here, but New Mexico, like I said, 6-2 on the road this season as part of that 22-4 record overall. Straight up. Let's go to the chat here and take a look at what we got. Thomas is on New Mexico. Super True likes the over in this one. All right, that steam came in on the over here, but all right, nothing else from you guys. It looks like I'm on the under here. Sorry, Super True. But I like the under in this one. New Mexico 0-4 to the under as an underdog this season, and the total's going up. I'll take the value of here. Boise, New Mexico 2-8 to the under on the road so far this season. So I'm going to go under here in this one. Like I said, New Mexico 5 straight unders on the road right now, including under at Air Force and under at Utah State when they were a 3.5-point dog in a 82-63 victory in that one. All right. Robert said, yeah, that move, that's a pretty significant move. It almost makes me feel like that's why maybe I'm not going with the side just yet, and I want to see if there's something we're missing here with the news cycle. Okay, one more here, and we can get to that soccer with sub. Rutgers and Washington here in this one. You got Washington in this one. They are a 2-point favorite here right now for sure. And the total here, 147.5, maybe 148 right now in this one with Washington here. Coming in 13-12, Rutgers 12-14. Rutgers on a 3-game losing streak right now. Lost at Oregon last time out, 75-57 as an 8.5-point dog. Also lost at home to Iowa. Rutgers 3-6 against the spread on the road right now. And Washington, look, they're nothing special here spread wise, although they have covered 5 of their last 7 games at home. Now, Rutgers long term is a big time loser on the road, but I'm not going to, even though you would think tougher to go from New Jersey to Washington, but, maybe they're getting, uh, I don't want to say extra points. They're obviously not getting that, but again, we're trying to gauge the half the Big Ten against the other half right now. Rutgers is just 4-12 against the spread. Their last 16 road games dating back to last season. So, see what you have here in this one with Rutgers taking on Washington tonight. Last game up. Thought we'd take a look at it to wrap up the card here in this one. All right. Anything from the chat, let me know. Thomas likes Rutgers with those young players. Cash Kane on Rutgers. And C-Man on Rutgers here in this one. All right. Robert does like the under here in this matchup. I'm going to take Washington as my play here against Rutgers. I'm kind of concerned about maybe what Rutgers is doing here right now, and got blown out. I know it's different with Oregon here at this point, but I'm gonna take Rutgers here. I mean, Washington here. Yeah, thanks, Johnny. Johnny's got my back here on this one. And that's going to do it for college basketball. Let's go over to the soccer here. Oh, we got one more. Yeah, maybe because of the travel a little bit. Like I said, maybe I'm giving too much respect to the West Coast teams right now, but I'm going to end up here. I'm going to take Washington, and let's go to soccer and end the show. Thank you, everybody, for joining me here on the Morning Steam show. All right. Sub's going to kick us off, and he says he's got let's go to that game first. Just because it's Sub's game, I want to get him his just due here with Juventus and PSV in this one. The Sub says he likes UV plus a quarter goal and under 2 3/4 of a goal. Now I have a different lineup there, but same thing here for the most part. He does say take it at 2.75 goals. I've just listed there the 2.5 over line. So fair enough with Sub there. We'll let Sub. I'm going to piggyback one of these games as my pick here on the show. Maybe I got to save one for a premium or so, but I'm going to take UV here in this one to win. What did Sub suggest? Maybe I'll go with I'll go with Sub's play here plus a quarter goal. That's what I'll do. Thank you, Spoons. We'll see you over there this morning, over across the street there. Doing a great job there, Spoons, for sure. Love that Friday show, Wednesday show, Friday show. You know what I mean, Spoons. All right. So there's Sub's matchup there in this one, and preview these games a little bit. I'm starting with this one, I guess. Hope I didn't screw anybody up with the order of the games here with UV. By the way, there are other games on. We have the 4 Champions League games. Certainly, those are the big games. But Liverpool is at Villa here today. How about that for a little co-feature this afternoon with, of course, Liverpool favored by a quarter goal in that one, the total 3. And there's also action in Mexico tonight. And more CONCACAF Champions League there tonight as well. Okay. And Sub's got some other opinions here, it looks like, with Dortmund and Lisbon over. It's going to be my pick right there, Sub on the show. And he also says here, Real Madrid money line in that other game there, and PSG minus the big number against Brest. Thank you, Sub. Appreciate it. And Sub says should be a pretty good. See, he knows what day it is too. He says it's going to be a good Saturday. We'd be on with some live coverage if Sub didn't have a real life that we couldn't pay him enough to do live shows because he's a very integral part of his family's business. I don't think can I say that, but Sub's going to find a way to watch those games. Thank you, Sub. Appreciate you today being here to give us those plays and those leans. I'm going to give some plays here in just a moment. That's because Sub every day looks the same to you, Sub. 7 days a week. That's why they all look alike. All right. Appreciate that. Let's go with all the games right now. We'll start with the one Sub mentioned. I like the over in this one. Now I've listed it here at 2.5 over 50 or so. Maybe you want to take it up to 275 and reduce that juice a little bit, but I'll take it at 2.5 as my play to try to win here. I'll lay a little bit of juice. We'll mention real quick right now that there is some steam coming in on the Gonzaga and Washington State game. I don't know why we didn't have that one maybe previewed there, but we mentioned the steam came in on Washington State. Now it's come in on the over here at 163.5 up to 164.5. Steam to the over with Gonzaga and Washington State. All right, Lisbon and Dortmund. Here I'm going with the over in this one with Lisbon and Dortmund. Here tonight. Let me get some of the notes up here anyway, try to cover a little bit of the action for you guys. Here in a knockout stage, Dortmund leads the game 3-0 on the road in that first game, so they don't need to do much. I mean, they can get out of here, with a loss, basically. But for me, I think Dortmund probably can still grab this one and maybe run up a little number here on Lisbon. Tonight, okay. Let's see here, -0.5, -$1.25 on that line. So, look, like I said, a tie gets Dortmund home, so that may be, keeping people away from Dortmund a little bit. But right now, Lisbon's in kind of a bad way here coming in. So I would imagine that it could be still a one-sided contest. It feels like so. Look, Dortmund has their own set of issues here coming in, but that was more domestically here. So maybe they can resettle themselves a little bit in this game here. But, how will that affect the game for them defensively here? They won't give up more than one, that's for sure. So we'll need it, 2-1 to get there, or 3-1 for sure. A goal from Lisbon would be nice. So it's just going to be my free play though here, and I will take the over here in this one. All right. Fernando sees it 3-0 Dortmund. I'll take it. It's also got to play on the corners here. What else we got here? Philly Eagle Flyer. Both teams to score. Lay Aston Villa, Dortmund, PSV, Madrid for a parlay at 4-1. It looks like there. And I just ended up with regret a little bit here yesterday. We did have Celtic, right? Plus 2.5 on the show yesterday. So did I get that was it though. That was our only win, I think, on the show yesterday with those picks. Okay, Brest and PSG here. I did see the suggestion of PSG there -1.5. I'm listing it here at -2 and at -120. I kind of want to take Brest here actually in this matchup with PSG. PSG leads 3-0 coming into this game. So we'll see. Like I said, all they need to do is they can lose by a goal or two here and still advance through. PSG not losing at this point to many teams. They're on a roll. Although uh, a little bit of a tough one last time out. I think they played Toulouse. They got the win, but it was just 1-0. They were a big favorite. So for PSG, they're not great laying these big numbers so far in Champions League play. Just 1-3 at home on the handicap in UCL play. Meanwhile, Brest is 3-1 on the handicap as an underdog. So the fact that PSG has this one well in hand for me is going to put me on Brest here to stay within a goal and give me that insurance at 2 goals here in this one. I'm going to take Brest as my play here on the show. All right. Yeah, that was about all I had though, Sub. I couldn't seem to get them quite right on the show yesterday. So I'm sticking to my guns here, I feel like. I think I got swept up in the big, knockout stage. Almost putting too much stock in the first leg. I mean, believe me, obviously we came down to some drama there a little bit yesterday as well. But, yes, the aggregate score is the score, but the game plays out, right? And then kind of like the aggregate score, it's always in the back of their minds and the philosophy going into the game. So, all right. Obviously not going to affect it too much on those first 2 games, but let's go to the big one now and get a pick here, or even the basic fans might have an opinion here with Manchester City and Real Madrid. And we saw the Real Madrid news, but still they lead this game 3-2 coming in, and they're a favorite here at home to send Man City away again in the Champions League. Real Madrid is 3-1 on the handicap at home in UCL play this season. Meanwhile, City is just 1-3 on the handicap on the road this season, and also 0-1 on the handicap as an underdog. Real Madrid here leading this one 3-2 coming in. And man, I would have to think we're going to get a typical City and Real Madrid game here. 5 goals were scored in the first game. Why wouldn't there be 5 or 6 goals scored in this one? The way these 2 teams are going, it feels like, especially in Champions League. Real Madrid's 3-0 to the over as a favorite in Champions League play. 4-0 at home in Champions League play. Meanwhile, City 3-1 to the over on the road in Champions League play, and they went over in that only game as a dog on the road in Champions League. So plenty of overs. They're combined 10-4 to the over in Champions League play, including that last one, 3-2. So see if you guys are playing this one, and I'll take the over. Taking the over. I mean, come on, I'm just some square guy going to watch the Golazo channel. All right. Markel here today. Hi, Markel. He likes Brest to win outright. Fernando, 2-0 Dortmund. Fernando's second half, more goals here in the I think this game, possibly. Yeah. Philly Eagle Flyer with a little more action here. Thank you, Philly Eagle Flyer, and thank you to everybody here on the show. That's going to do it for the morning steam. All right. You can catch all of my best plays today over at winnable.com. My premium picks here on the Sports Money Network are over there at winnable.com. Get my plays today for just $4. I have a great college basketball card. I do have a play ready to go in the NBA today on the total. If you're interested, saw some opinions in there. Is it mine? Is it not? check it out over at winnable.com. I'm not sure. I'll have college basketball for sure in that package today over at winnable.com. So please check me out over there. You can type into the chat right now if you want to be in our drawing for the consensus parlay today. And we'll see who wins and gets a chance at the money. And we'll run the drawing here. We got 28 of you already entered in. So if you want to type something into the chat, go right ahead. You can type in something. And you're already eligible if you've already typed in anything. I can't even say any words here, and you guys are typing in the chat. All right. Don't forget, we have the VB MMA Pick Show up under the live tab here on the Sports Money YouTube channel. We previewed those 3 fights for the weekend, and I think we might even go live on Kick tonight. We'll see what happens with our exciting college basketball card. Let's go to the drawing here right now. Big Scott, hello. Our plays here today are, get them here from Thomas. Charlotte Hornets, spread. Oh, yeah, Charlotte Hornets right there. Don't forget, NBA. Nebraska, Vandy, and Northern Iowa. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, everybody. Thank you all today in the chat. Really appreciate all that. All right, let's do the drawing here. See who gets a chance at this 4-teamer. Joseph, Big Scott, Thomas, Sub, AOD, Lando, Chosen One, Jake Dye, Johnny Walker, William Driver, Joe W, Jermaine, and Johnny Walker. Thank you, Johnny Walker. Thank you, everybody, for being here for the show today. Appreciate that. Don't forget, get my best plays over at winnable.com. How about, the VB show? Check that out right here with me. We had our guest this week, George Gennaro, coming to us from the Far East. So we had one guy in Europe, one guy in Vegas, and one guy in Hong Kong. And that's how we pulled off the show. So if you want to see a show with 3 guys coming to you of 3 places around the world, one in Europe, one in Las Vegas, and one in Hong Kong, watch VB MMA picks this week. All right, and don't forget, we'll have First Strike later tonight, pre-gaming, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, and then get ready. Might have some live coverage tonight. Thanks, everybody, for joining me here on the Morning Steam. A few more comments on the sub. Thank you. Thank you for hitting us up with the soccer action today. What did Sub say? Did I do? You know what? What about I didn't really pick or preview the Liverpool game. Well, I think I got a premium. That's what I'll do. All right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Catch you tomorrow. More Morning Steam, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Escape from the team, called the morning steam. It's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to